follow-up?
Yeah, follow-up on that. I'm not talking about what might happen in the future. I know we haven't had a budget for 6 years, right? And that's pretty clear. And I don't know whether we're going to get a budget within the next month or so. Probably going to have a continuing resolution, which is not going to touch this. And I know that the president has already cut out those people that are in business. So every person who's not in business is going to have to pay something, some way or the other. When you talk about money coming back to the state, that's money that the state has sent up to the federal government. So it's the taxpayer here in Virginia that's paying for all this. And I just wanted to know that the first answer was the state's going to have to pay it. So as it stands right now, it would seem that if they don't reach an agreement this session, they go into a continuing resolution, we're going to have to see what that resolution encompasses, whether it's, the military aid for Tidewater and Northern Virginia, whatever it might be, plus whatever else they put in there. So I'm assuming that this 80 or 90% that's being paid this year is going to be on a question mark on the board. Is that correct?
Well, the federal law provides that the federal matching for new enrollees would be 100% for the first 3 years, and then 5%, 6%. And then the state share would go from 0% to 5%, 6%,
So it has to be changed.
to 10%. It's in the current law, and the Congress, of course, has the right to make whatever changes it might choose to make.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Bannon and Dr. Mann.
I enjoyed your presentation. But you opened the door. You said you're an economist. And so here's my question. How confident are you that the projected savings over the next 6 to 10 years are like your pretty slide shows, based on our history in predicting savings or expenses involved? And if you've got a bunch of studies that can document that predicted value.
Well, I'm very confident, let me put it that way, in terms of the savings to the state. I kind of look at it this way. There's a maximum in diplomatic circles that nations have either permanent friends or permanent enemies, they have permanent interests. And I see the responsibility of policymakers, such as yourself, to look at what the permanent interest is of the Commonwealth. And so I would look at this from that perspective in terms of what the impact is on you and your constituents. And when I look at I say this as an economist, as a former Medicaid director, and as a former budget director. And the analyses that I have seen have been solid. When you look at the forecast out, keeping in mind that there's always variation and that the projections are never exactly accurate. But in terms of the savings, from a state perspective, chances are there will be savings, depending on the kinds of programs that the state has already, and the extent to which those state expenditures now can be replaced by those that are eligible for Medicaid and pay 100%.